Hey you guys, my name's Lainey Sweet. I am the widow of Daniel Shaver, who was shot and killed in Mesa, Arizona on January 18th by a police officer in an unjustified shooting. If you don't know the backstory to what happened, I encourage you to just look on our Facebook page and read it over there. This video is solely going to be about when I was in Arizona a week ago, the conversation that took place during my visit with the county attorney. On March 14th, I had an appointment with my former attorney, Mark Victor, at his office to have a scheduled phone conversation with the prosecutor to go over the officers who was going to court for the first time the following day, just the release terms of what we were hoping for and what they were aiming for. And while we were on the phone with them, or with her, she dropped the news on us that they had already decided to offer him a plea of negligent homicide, which is a 4th-degree felony, probation eligible. So at minimum, he would walk on probation. At most, he would serve 80% of 3.75 years. Since it is within my rights as a victim to view the body cam footage of the shooting of my husband, and I had not seen that before they were already deciding to offer a plea without consulting me, the county attorney invited me down to his office to allow my attorneys for the first time to view the footage in 2 months since this had happened, and myself. Unfortunately, when I got there, though, I realized very quickly that in order for me to watch it, I was going to be silenced and given a list of things I could and could not say publicly if I was allowed to watch it. Ultimately, when it came down to it, after an hour of discussing back and forth the conditions, they did not want me to watch it, and I was not able to. But my previous attorneys did, and they described in great detail what had happened. The following conversation took place in his office, and you are welcome to listen to it for yourself.
I asked you too is the information that we're going to share on that video. You can't share it with the media person because it will affect the case. So in sharing it with you, it can't go any further than the people in this room. Okay?
Why is that?
Because I can't release this information, so I'm not going to share the information with someone who might release it. I can't do that.
Well, maybe now's a good time to talk about what could be said. You know.
Yeah, well, you know, if you want to share.
Well, I feel like this is set up in his favor.
How so?
Could I interrupt real quick?
Sure.
No, I've been doing that. Normally, I don't share any photos or videos or anything of sensitive nature with victims until after a person has been charged or indicted. In this case, it would be an information or when the person is being held to answer. So actually, Mr. Montgomery, and I'm not just saying this because he's my boss, but you know, I think he's extending you a lot of courtesies, you know, and so by having you go ahead and see something that's difficult, because it was difficult for us to watch, and you know, we're professionals and we're not related to him. That's why I think this is very important that we all understand that this cannot go outside of this room, media-wise, because it will impact negatively the trial, and we don't want that if it was to go to that far.
Well, so could she say, assuming she watches the video, I've seen the video, it's disturbing, I'm not going to comment any further on it, or something like that?
What can I not say? I don't fully understand how I'm not allowed to, the freedom of speech, why I can't.
Well, and here's the thing.
That's
You
confusing.
absolutely have the right to First Amendment freedom of speech. And if you want to exercise it in this case, then I'm going to limit the information you get so that I don't get in trouble by disseminating information to the public. If you want to exercise your right to speak to the press, you can do that. But I can't share information with you that would then go to the press because I can't share that with the press.
It's the same reason we're restricted from saying things, because there's a free speech thing, but there's also a balancing with this defendant's right to a fair trial. And the people in the jury are going to be picked from the pool of people that are going to be listening to the news. And so
the news has reported my husband pointing a gun out a window, and they don't know about that there was another man in there, and all the misinformation that nobody has cleared.
Now, because I spoke about it, and it's on a YouTube press conference video where I straightened that out. Now, report that? No. Will they report what you say as the surviving wife? Yes. Every word of it at every single news cycle, and every single time there's anything about this case that comes up, they will play your words.
But what if she talks about things that are not on the video? Those are the things that are bothering me. My husband didn't point a gun at anybody. It wasn't him. He didn't do anything wrong.
I think.
She doesn't get into the details of the video.
Yeah, and the thing is this. I don't want the case to be about your husband. It's not. It's about the person who pulled that trigger. And so not talking about your husband actually helps the case because it keeps the focus on the defendant. Do you understand what I'm saying on that? If we're not worried about trying to defend anything that your husband did, the focus isn't on him. What happened that day was the responsibility of the police officer. Your husband didn't do anything wrong. He didn't. He was trying to comply.
Could she say, I saw the video. My husband didn't do anything wrong. He was totally compliant.
You should not be commenting to the media about the facts in this case if you want to win. All right? I can't say.
I'm just trying to strike a happy medium here so she can say something.
Yeah. I think what you can certainly say is if you had the opportunity to meet with the assigned prosecutor on the case and to have your questions answered and your concerns addressed, and that you had the opportunity to view the video, and it was very upsetting and disturbing. That's it. There's nothing more that really needs to be said. Being able to tell people what you feel is perfectly understandable and I think reasonable. But not describing any of the facts is important to making sure that the defense cannot ever make a claim that there was information that I released to the public through you by showing you something that I knew you were going to talk about. Because again, one of two things happens. Either the defense is able to make a claim that the defendant's not going to get a fair trial, period, or they're able to make an argument that it needs to be tried in another county. I don't want anybody else handling this case. Okay.
So if I choose not to watch it, I can speak about how I feel based off of what was just described to me by my attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, certainly.
Because I haven't seen it myself, but if I do, then I really can't.
You can't comment about what you've seen on the video. And I mean, I know you understand why.
Look, Lainey, you don't know me. I don't know you. But I'm going to ask you to trust me on this. Me not wanting you to watch the video has got nothing to do with trying to be mean or try to deliberately say, I don't want you to watch this and I get to tell you what to do. It's having been in this position and having represented people who have lost loved ones and seeing how this process develops and asking you to be patient. You will be able to watch that video before it is publicly released. You have my commitment. And if anybody does release it prior to that, I'm going after them because it won't be authorized. Also, if you don't watch it, and then if you feel the need to speak to the media, and I can't advise that, that's why you have an attorney, and you haven't seen it, there's no risk of you saying something that could be then become problematic that we have to address with the court and the defense. And then you can share your feelings, your frustrations. Blame me.
I don't blame you. I blame the officer, but I feel like he's not being held accountable fully to a certain degree, but not to what he deserves. If my husband was shot 5 times while crawling on the ground unjustified, like you guys have all said to me, everybody who's talked about the video said it's horrifying. I mean, it's absolutely traumatizing. But yet, we're talking about a possibility of him just walking with probation. I mean, as the bottom, but I mean, even at the max, you said at the max 3 years, 3.75 5 for my husband who died? I mean, how is that just, how, I mean, have you ever lost somebody? Do you have a wife?
I do.
Is she alive?
Yes, she is.
Have you lost anyone you really, really love super close to you who, I mean, rips your soul when they leave? Because I feel like if you were sitting in my position, you would understand that 3.75 years is a slap in the face.
And let me tell you, too, I don't sit where you sit right now. I am not in your shoes. I'm not going to pretend to understand exactly how you feel. And it's not fair for me to even try to presume that. Because I don't have to bear what you're bearing right now. I don't have to do what you're doing right now.
It's not even me, it's my kids. Like, I'm strong enough, I can get through it. It's my kids. They were robbed of their life. I mean, Danny and them were so close. It's not fair to them. It's not about me. It's about what he went through. Scared alone in a hallway. I mean, begging basically for his life, please don't shoot me. And then...
I don't want to mischaracterize it. It wasn't to that degree. It was at the beginning where the officers are telling him, you need to do what we tell you to do, you're going to be shot. And he says, please don't shoot me. And then there are moments in between where he's trying to comply and he's trying to crawl forward on his knees and his hands are in the air. And that's at that point where he reaches back. So I don't want to mischaracterize that. So those raw emotions, that's what you want to share with the media. That's perfectly fine. And I think if you watch the video, though, there's a risk that you wind up talking about what's in the video and you miscommunicating what you just shared with me.
I need a list of what I can't say, though. I mean, I'd like, no, it literally will come down to that.
You go in there and say, listen, could I say this?
We can clarify.
It's not about what can't I say, it's more what I need to know.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
We can
It's
try
not
to
about what I
clarify
can
that.
say, there's,
Okay,
We
no,
can
that's
try to
fine.
clarify.
I think that would help me
Okay.
make my decision. I need to understand what I can't talk about, this doesn't feel right to me. Just being told you can't say anything about it. It's too broad, what does that mean?
I think Lady would like to see very careful, as do I, about what she's doing. So she just needs a little bit better contour, a little more definition around the edges, because, you know, she's not experienced at dealing with the press and all this other stuff, and she doesn't want to say something that, with all the she can't say. So, I mean, it's my impression, if she watches the video, she'll be able to say, I saw the video, I'm very upset by the video, it was disturbing, whatever, something like that, I'm upset about it. I don't know, what else?
I mean, like the facts that are already out there. He was crawling on his hands and knees. He was shot 5 times. I mean, those are things you...
Yes, but none of that has been described in the video. I was specifically asked by the media this is why I'm saying it in these terms here. Last week I was specifically asked by the media to describe what was in the video, and I refused to do it because I can't do that. So whatever you see on the video, you can't describe. You can't share.
But didn't you guys already say there were 5 shots or something like that?
That was what had been previously released, and in order to make sure that there wasn't any mischaracterization, we restated that.
So why can't you just simply restate that? I saw what...
Why did we start talking to the media? You've met with the county attorney's office, you've reviewed the evidence, it's extremely disturbing. Done. You protect the case.
What else do you want to say, Laney? What else would you
I don't know. There's people who ask questions,
Right.
and it gets hard to know.
Right.
I don't want to watch it, and then all of a sudden I'm in a position where I'm like, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. I kind of need a list.
You could pretend you're a politician, right, and keep saying the same thing over and over again. It's very
Right there, I have it
disturbing.
written down anyway.
Very
But
disturbing.
here's the
Review
thing.
the
The
evidence.
media will keep asking you questions until they get you to say something they want. And what they want you to say is what I'm saying you can't. They're going to want to know, well, what did you see? What did he say? What did he look like? How did that make you feel? They're going to try to get an emotional reaction on you because they want it on camera to show it in order for them to get ratings. It sounds incredibly crass, but that's exactly what they're going to try to do. They don't care about you. They don't care about your husband. All they want to do is trade on your emotion and on the impact to you and your family. That's it. Otherwise, quite frankly, they don't give a rat's ass about you or anything else.
Yeah.
You could say, I've seen the video, it was very disturbing, I don't have any comment after that. And you could just say, talk to my lawyer if you want, and bounce them off.
That's what I would highly suggest, is you can confirm, I've watched the video, it was very disturbing, and I look forward to justice.
Am I allowed to give my personal opinion, like I feel like it was completely unjustified?
No, because that gets to legal conclusions and things that I can't directly say. I communicate that by the fact that we charged them.
Yeah.
So when I get asked a question by the media, so this wasn't justified, all this has been analyzed and charged the case. If you don't go down that road, the media can't walk you down it any further. Because what they're going to want to do is they're going to want to get you crying and saying that this was horrible, the Mesa police are evil, and that you wish the suspect with the death penalty and all these things that may be in your heart that you're feeling, but they want to see you say it so they can put it on the TV. And that's the worst possible scenario for us being able to handle this case going forward. It's not because I'm afraid of creating an expectation for the office in handling the case. It's because of the impression that the community is going to get that I then can't unravel and the defense can point to and say that their client can't get a fair trial now.
The point of this video that I'm trying to make is that as a victim, I am being silenced, and I think it is well within my rights to view the footage, and I demand that it be released publicly. I think that it is the only way that we can get this plea deal stopped. It's absolutely unfair for an officer to be charged with second-degree murder and walk away on probation. My husband was shot 5 times while complying on the ground, unarmed, and we need justice. So please share this and help us get the word out, and let's demand this footage. Thank you, guys.